10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yes, everybody. Don't know why I'm dancing. Maybe because we're about to sign Lisandro Martinez. I don't know. But how are we all doing? We came with a late stream last night after the breaking news from Mike Vavage and Fabrizio Romano on Lisandro Martinez. I'll give you the latest little snippet updates on that situation this morning, but I covered the majority of it yesterday. Martinez should be announced today. Well, here we go anyway. He won't be officially announced as a Manchester United player. That will have to come through after the medical and whenever he joins up on tour. That'll be interesting. Maybe for the game in Perth. Who knows? But I'm going to run through it this morning. How are we all doing? I'm going to cover Lisandro Martinez. I'm going to talk about a little bit about Christian Eriksen, about Frenkie de Jong. We have a little conversation about Ten Hag being backed in this summer transfer window. What you think about it so far? How happy you'll be if it is those three signings. Of course, we'll talk about de Jong. We'll speak about Cristiano Ronaldo and these rumors coming out about potential move to Saudi Arabia, which kind of comes from nowhere, but there's a lot of money involved. Jeez. It's like the Live Golf International, throwing money at golfers. Maybe they'll throw money at Cristiano Ronaldo too. Then we'll run through Erik Ten Hag's full press conference ahead of the game against Melbourne Victory. I'm not going to do a reaction video in the same way I did a reaction video for the first press conference because I thought if anything was going to come out on an interesting perspective, it was going to be that one. So I don't think we need it. Today's video, this lunchtime, is going to be a good one. I'm going to do a scouting report on Lisandro Martinez. But look, let me go down here in the comments. Vicky, I can see you there. Malps, good morning to you. Rego, Fred, Ray, Jason, good morning to all of you. A couple on Facebook. Stephen Lawrence, good morning to you. Saliu, Joshua, Gareth, Harrison, and Margaret Mulenga, good morning to you. Some members, some not members. Doesn't really matter. Sanka, good morning to you as well. Chris, Charlie, Nilanjan, lots and lots of you in the comments. And I apologize if I haven't read out your name. I can still see you down there. But yesterday was a good day. I enjoyed it anyway. That's why I went late last night, because I knew that the story would develop this morning. And I actually forgot that the press conference was happening during the night. So then that's going to be a bit of a focus coming forward. But if you missed the story last night, where were you? How dare you go to bed instead of coming here at 10:30 and joining me on United People's TV? But look, as I said, throughout this summer, when there's big breaking news, I will go live at random times. I'm always here at 9:30 a.m. Monday to Friday. But if there's other breaking news that happens and develops, I will cover it here on United People's TV. That's what I did last night. Let me run through that story for you here. It was confirmed yesterday that Manchester United and Ajax have basically agreed that deal. It's going to be 50 million euros up front for Lisandro Martinez and somewhere between 0 and 5 million in add-ons. And we don't know what the structure of those add-ons are. We don't know what the structure of the payment terms are. That's one thing that we're going to get sorted today. But Mike Vavage there confirming yesterday, and we had a big conversation about this, the fact that it was Edwin van der Sar who really helped push this through, really doing not Erik Ten Hag a favor, but yeah, man. I said this on Twitter last night. I said, I cannot wait until this bloke works at Manchester United. Arguably, he's doing just as much as Richard Arnold or John Murtough in this particular transfer. But the deal will be getting done. A couple of updates, minor updates, really, kind of the same thing that was been said yesterday and last night. Told Simon Stone from the BBC. He's saying, I'm told Lisandro Martinez talks at an advanced stage could be done as early as today. And Fabrizio Romano saying, look, United are closing in on that deal. New round of talks scheduled today. And that talk is going to be around the payment terms. One of the final steps before this is done. So happy days, man. Martinez, as I spoke about yesterday, we're just waiting for the here we go now. That's all we're waiting for. Man United have won the race to sign him. Arsenal, they got a couple of bids rejected for him. So technically it was a race. Of course it was. And any Arsenal fan coming into the comments down here and saying that you were going to spend 40 to 50 million pounds on somebody who's just going to be a backup left back and a backup centre back. Nah, I think you're protecting yourselves there. Will Lisandro Martinez be a sensation at Manchester United? I'm going to cover that in my scout report. Going to look at his strengths, look at his weaknesses, of course. And we all know that the height is a concern for some United fans. But I'm going to cover all of that in that scout report that's going to go out this lunchtime. There's a super chat that flew in there. Let me read that out before I miss it. Venka, you're saying, not Vecna, big up Strange things. Do you reckon Martinez will also be used as a pivot? I'll cover that in the scouting report today. And Anthony, you're joining as a member, mate. Let me know where you're watching from. Nice to have you as part of the fam. Make sure you join the Telegram as well, my friend. Let me go down here. Robert, you're saying, look, what's the fee and what's the fee, Sam, and structure, do you think? So the fee will be, as Fabrizio says here, it's going to be 50 million euros guaranteed. Now, that's up from the 45 million euros that we offered them originally. And it's not going to, that's fine. That's not going to change much. I'll be honest, I didn't particularly like Ajax's stance to change the price halfway through the negotiations. I'll be honest, I thought that was a weird flex. But it's happened. And Manchester United, we paid that extra 5 million euros. We've kind of done Ajax a favour. They've got more money. They'll go out and they will sign a replacement for Lisandro Martinez. I mean, they only signed him, 3 years ago for 7 million euros? They're going to sell him for nearly a 50 million euro profit. It's incredible business by them. And Lisandro Martinez, he wanted Manchester United. You know, we've been talking about that quite a lot here on United People's TV. We only want players that want to play for the club, that want to play for Erik Ten Hag. Tick all the boxes with Lisandro Martinez. I don't know why I'm pointing that way. Well, it's because it's over there. Always gets me that one. I should probably learn that at some point. Lisandro Martinez, he wants to play for United. He rejected Arsenal and he wants to play for Erik Ten Hag. And if that's important to you, he definitely ticks all the boxes. Kudje, you joined as well. Let me know. I'm guessing you're watching from Holland, but what part of Holland are you watching from, my friend? Salt, you're saying, what does Lisandro signing mean for Maguire's captaincy? I'll be honest, it's a big question mark. It's why I said I was a bit surprised. I was a little bit surprised that Erik Ten Hag said that Maguire would be retaining the captaincy. But I don't particularly think that counts for too much at this moment in time. We've now got, if we're looking at it, I'm sorry to Eric Bailly, but I'm looking at 4 centre-backs for next season. I'm looking at Varane, Maguire, Martinez, and Lindelof. And that's why we need to sell Eric Bailly. And if we're looking at it, that's why we need to sell centre-backs. Because when Martinez arrives, we've then got Martinez, Varane, Maguire, Lindelof, Bailly, Jones, and Tuanzebe. All 3 of those at the bottom could go, realistically. And we would then cover it. I don't know, Will Fish could be the 5th. Other players could be the 5th. And not Alex Telles. Geez, that was a weird experiment against Melbourne. Not against Liverpool. I never want to see again. We've got to get rid of some centre-backs now. Jones, Tuanzebe, and Bailly, the 3 definite players that I think should be leaving. But Martinez, I really am excited about this signing. I will explain exactly why in my scouting report. And I know that there are some of you that have concerns about his height. And honestly, I think they're a little bit misplaced. My opinion of Lisandro Martinez wouldn't be completely different if all of a sudden he was 6'1", weighed 2 stone more, and had bulging veins coming out of his biceps. The athleticism can cover for physical deficiencies, if you want to call it that. I'll be honest, like ideally you are 6 foot as a centre back in an ideal world, but Lisandro Martinez, it's not stopped him reaching the level he's reached at the moment, and it's not stopped him moving to Manchester United and Erik Ten Hag believing that he will be a top level player. Brandon, absolutely. That scout report's going to come out at lunchtime today, so make sure you watch that on United People's TV. Make sure you drop a like on the video too. And Ricky, you're saying, look, is Martinez signed as a centre-back or as a DM? I'll cover that all in the video later. It's Kieran watching from Belfast. How you doing, buddy? And we've got Messap watching from Cameroon and Ibrahim watching from Sierra Leone. That's pretty cool. Jones got a goodwill contract. Don't think it's any impact on him to do with this. Look, Jones is one of those players, a bit like Martial. If Martial wasn't on 240k a week, I think we probably could have easily sold him this summer and replaced him. Instead, we haven't. And I tell you what, he looks good, but Martial, don't let me down again, man. Martial, I want to see him turn my fan on. It's hot as hell in here. Woo! I want to see more of that from Martial. I don't want to see 2-3 weeks of Martial absolutely nailing it and then just disappearing off the face of the earth, which we have seen lots and lots before. But that first game against Liverpool, I was like, that looks like a different type of Anthony Martial. The pressing, and not just dumb pressing, really smart pressing at the right times, winning the ball back 3-4 times. Good. Very, very good. Comment there saying, how much is Manchester United paying for him? The structure will be 50 million euros up front with up to 5 million euros add-ons. We don't know the structure of that. We don't know how much it's going to be done. We're not going to pay 50 million euros guaranteed. Oh, sorry, it's 50 million euros guaranteed, not 50 million euros up front. So we don't know how much. That's probably going to be spread over the course of three seasons or so. Very normal, very standard practice. So it means that we've still got plenty of money left because we've only spent 17 million so far, remember, on Tyrell Malacia. And if Martinez costs 50 and we split that over 3 years, and what's that, 13 million a season? No, 15, 16? Just over 16, 17 million. That'd be 34 million that we've spent. And we're supposed to, and that's euros, we're supposed to have a budget of somewhere between 100 and 150. The budget's still there. It really is still there. Let me go down here and see what you're saying in the comments. Roger, how you doing, Roger? You're saying Martinez played in the Champions League for 2 years against Haaland and Nunes. He'll handle most of the Premier League players fine. Ten Hag will find a tactical solution for the other times. And he's got tactical solutions for the other times, Roger. I don't know. If we end up playing, we play West Ham and they're lumping it into the box. We've got Varane and we've got Maguire. We can put both of those two on. Maybe put Lisandro into a central defensive midfielder position who can drop deeper and make into a triple centre-back setup. That could happen. There's options. There's versatility. There's a lot to like about Lisandro Martinez. As I said, I will be bringing that in a video out at lunchtime. Fred, what are you saying, sir? What's clear to me is that we really need a player like Sangare. He is the type of player we missed against Liverpool. Well, you are preaching to the choir there, my friend, because I've been banging that drum for years and years and years. And we saw with the overzealousness and the excitement of the press against Liverpool, when those gaps were left behind, a stronger Liverpool team would have punished those. We would have conceded in that first half. That's a given, right? But we didn't because they had different players on. But I don't think we're going to be signing that sort of player. But that, again, is where someone like Lisandro Martinez slots in, because he would then operate inside that role. He would know how to cover that. He would have the athleticism to cover the space in behind as well. He's somebody who could aggressively marshal that position as a centre-back. When you play the high line, you're almost playing as a bit of a central defensive midfielder anyway, in terms of the position on the pitch. As I said, it's going to be a good one. Daisy, you're going to go watch the game tomorrow. Absolutely enjoy that. Make sure you send us some photos. Why not? Put them into the Telegram group. What's the difference between guaranteed and upfront? Upfront is what you will pay this summer. Upfront means it's 50 million euros. Here is 50 million euros cash in a bag. And they give it to Ajax this summer and it comes out of our budget. Guaranteed means you're going to get 50 million euros, but we're going to split it over X amount of years. And as Fabrizio Romano puts down here, it's that payment terms. That's one of the final steps that's going to be done today. So we've agreed on the price. How is that paid to Ajax and when? That's going to be the thing that gets decided today. And as soon as I suppose we get that, we are going to get the here we go. And I'm excited for it. As I said, hey, Paul, I'm pretty sure Louis van Gaal won all 5 preseason games. And I think he lost his first game against Swansea. You know, preseason, do not focus on the results. I'm not focused on the fact that we've beat Liverpool 4-0. I'm focused on what I saw on the pitch, on the patterns of play, on the build-up. And I did that video, and I keep saying it, man. I'm so happy that seems to be the video series that's doing the best that's ever done, that a video series has ever done on the United People's TV. Those insightful, tactical, not just naively positive videos, but sort of patterns that we're seeing emerging that you can go, right, I know exactly what to expect next season now from Erik Ten Hag's football, because we do. It's a bit predictable in a good way. Go down here. Mo, I don't think we'll be playing 3 at the back. That's just not really Erik Ten Hag's football. I don't think we will at all. But you could very much see what you normally see with Erik Ten Hag in the build-up. I covered that in the video I did off the back of the Liverpool game. When you play in possession, you play up the pitch. You play almost like a 2-2-6 formation. Your 2 centre-backs are playing so high up the pitch. Your full-backs are almost operating as 2 wingers, bringing extra width. You've got your 2 central midfielders, and one will drop deeper. And that's what De Jong will probably do if or when we sign him. If we don't sign him, well, we've got to look elsewhere. But it's exactly why he's going after him so hard. Patrick, you're saying, look, from an Ajax fan, great news for United with Martinez getting an Argentinian pitbull into the squad. Enjoy, good vibes. Thank you very much, Patrick. And as I said, look, I don't think Manchester United would have appreciated Ajax changing the price halfway through negotiations. I didn't think that was a good move by them. But I also have some sympathy for Ajax because of everything that's happened this summer. They're a club. Yeah, you can call them a selling club if you want, because that's their business model. Every year they'll sell one, maybe two players, and they'll replace them because their academy is incredible. And that's the cycle at Ajax. This season, they've had to cope with a manager, assistant manager, Gravenberch, Mazraoui, Haller, now Martinez, Tagliafico is probably leaving too. Rumors about Anthony, don't think he's going anywhere. Yuri and Timber, obviously he stayed too. So I think almost feel like United have done them a little bit of a favour by not digging in our heels about that money, just giving them the extra few million. It's therefore a win for Ajax. It's ultimately still a win for Manchester United. And honestly, I think if you're getting really bogged down in how much Martinez costs, then I would question your priorities. I would question what motivates you as a United fan in this winter, because the price does not mean sweet FA for us. It doesn't. I know it might make us feel slightly better. It might make it an argument at the pub easier to win, but it doesn't change a goddamn thing as long as the right player is signed. So many people are like, oh, he could just turn into another Rojo. What? Because he's left-footed and he's an Argentinian centre-back. Well done for that comparison. He's being signed because he has a very specific profile, ticking all the boxes of a certain centre-back. Look, we could have gone out and got Kalidou Koulibaly. Probably, well, it looks like he's going to go to Chelsea for 40 million. Does that mean that they've got a significantly better signing than we do because they've spent a little bit less money? No, it means that Chelsea wanted a player with the physical profile of Kalidou Koulibaly, and they've gone and got him. And Erik Ten Hag wanted a player like Lisandro Martinez. That's why we're looking at Yuri and Timber first, and then Martinez, because he wants a player of that profile. And that's something I keep saying. And it's the word that he used when he was describing Tyrell Malacia as well. That modern day fullback, he called him. Don't get bogged down into the details of the price, people. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. If we sign Frenkie de Jong for 1 million or we sign Frenkie de Jong for 70 million, does that change what Frenkie de Jong will be for Manchester United next season? No, it won't change anything. He'll be the exact same player. The same goes for Martinez, whether it was 45 or 55 million. Gene, I agree. I think we're overpaying. I do think we're overpaying. But I don't care. I genuinely don't care. Dave, you're saying we will now have stability and power in defense. I'm really looking forward to doing this scouting report, because I think with Martinez, it's probably the most the most interesting scouting report I'll do, because Eriksen, you kind of know what you're going to get with Eriksen. That scouting report, I think I've already done it. I can't remember whether I've already done it or not. But Martinez, he's a versatile player. He can play in different positions. And I'm looking forward to doing that and bringing that to you. Good morning to you, Mickey. How you doing, buddy? Matt, you're saying feeling happy. Come on, Sam. Absolutely, mate. Everyone's got a big smile on their face now. Yeah, look, we've also overpaid in Glazer dividends. If we didn't overpay fans, we'll blame Steve, man. It's just so odd, honestly. When you're in a situation where United aren't paying enough, fans are just fuming, shouting at United, going, pay the money, get the deal done. Oh my God, what are you doing? If United then go and pay the deal and pay the money and get the deal done, oh my God, what are you doing? Why are you overpaying? I told you, it's like people don't like being pleased. They don't like just being happy, because there's less to talk about. There's less to moan about. There's less to complain about. Martinez coming in, obviously 55 million is a lot of money, and it is overpriced. But will I lose sleep over it? No, you won't. Will Ten Hag lose sleep over it? No, he won't. And will the Glazers get a little bit less money? Maybe. And that's probably a good thing. Why do we look for a DM while we have James Garner? Otieno, James Garner is not a defensive midfielder. He's never been a defensive midfielder. He will never be a defensive midfielder. He is a central midfielder who's probably more naturally suited to going forward than he is going back towards his own box. But I'll speak about that because I want to see James Garner play against Melbourne Victory tomorrow. There's quite a few players that I want to see play. We've got Egg and Ben watching from Ghana. How you doing, buddy? DJG saying it'll be good to have an analytical video comparing each Liverpool City player position against ours. Compare where they get assists or goals compared to where we do, and work out where we need to improve. Geez, that's some scientific video you got that laid down there. I don't think we need to look at Liverpool or City to know where we need to improve. We know where we need to improve. And I think if we try to focus and build a squad blueprint scientifically off what City and Liverpool are doing, no, you're going to get bogged down into the details. We know where we need to improve. We know where we need to strengthen. And that's just off our own back. We don't need to look at those two to do that. That's my opinion anyway. Pratik saying, love all the content. Thank you very much, my friend. There's a new member joining there. What's that? Where was the name there? Ooh, name's disappeared. Chris. How you doing, Chris? Let me know where you're watching from, my friend. John, the game is at 11:15 UK time. So look, 11:05 UK time. Well, I was close enough. I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. But look, later on today, I think I'm going to be here with a here we go for Lisandro Martinez. And in that video, I'm going to probably cover my scout report in a little bit of detail. Also start comparing Martinez to Maguire, to Varane, to Lindelof, to Bailly. What sort of centre-back is he and how is he different? I'm going to cover all that later. But as Fabrizio Romano is confirmed, everybody's confirmed. Simon Stone. We haven't heard anything from David Ornstein. I think he's waiting for the big one. But we're getting Martinez. And I think that's a fantastic signing for Manchester United. I really, really do. I think Erik Ten Hag will be delighted with that signing. And it's the... not that I'm saying this in a horrible way, but Tyrell Malacia is not a game-changing signing for Manchester United. Not at the start of this season. By the end of the season, we might say, wow, we've got a gem there. And I think we will. I really do think we will. But improving our options at left-back was something we wanted, probably needed, but there were bigger priorities, and we know what they were. All in midfield and at centre-back. And that's why Martinez is the first he will be the first major signing. I'm not just talking about the money spent. But of course, there's going to be more that follow. And of course, a lot of you are frustrated that Christian Eriksen hasn't joined yet. And I keep saying to you, and I will remain saying to you, that doesn't make any sense, remain saying to you, I will keep saying, chill your beans, man. This was on the 4th of July, 10 days ago. Confirmed by the BBC, confirmed by everywhere. Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein, they all gave it the here we go. They had everything. Christian Eriksen is joining Manchester United. All right. I don't know whether he's going to be able to join up with the team in Melbourne. Maybe he's going to join up with a team in Perth. But Christian Eriksen, it's not going to make that much of a difference. Whether it's done today, whether it's done in a couple of days, he'll be there as part of some part of the preseason. It's not going to make a huge difference. I know it's frustrating to you because you just want to get it out your system. Oh, there you go. Eriksen's done. Cool, good. Nice. But it's going to happen. And I keep saying it every day because so many people keep asking me about Eriksen. And I'm just like, honestly, just forget about it until the announcement comes out. You don't need to waste any negative energy on it. Nishant saying, other channels are saying we will know by whether Frenkie goes on tour with Barcelona if he will sign. What do I think? I don't know. He wasn't involved in the first preseason game for Barcelona, but I don't know whether he was supposed to be at all. No one really said much about it, so I don't think it was too much of a hype. He's professional in the same way that Lewandowski has gone back to Bayern Munich, even though he wants to leave for Barcelona. Frenkie de Jong will be there. He'll be professional. He'll do preseason training. He'll probably go on the preseason tour if he needs to go on the preseason tour. But it won't really stop anything from happening. That's my opinion. John, you're saying you think Martinez's bite is as important as de Jong carrying and playmaking? Ooh. He is known as a bit of a pit bull. And that's something I really am excited to see. Excited to see. He is snappy. He is tenacious. He's basically the sort of person you want to be alongside in a scrap. That's who he is. Maybe it's small man syndrome. I don't know what it is. But it's certainly an asset and a strength of his game. And you're saying, where does Eriksen fit? Is he going to be an alternative to Bruno? I suppose, yeah, in that sense, it is an interesting conversation. Christian Eriksen is somebody who can play and has played left midfield, left central midfield, right central midfield, right midfield, and in the number 10 role. He's played all of them across his career. We know where he's at his best. Number 10. So technically, in that sense, you're kind of looking at him as an alternative to Bruno Fernandes. But then what about Donny van der Beek? Let's be honest. I think it was quite an underwhelming performance against Liverpool. But I'm not going to, I told you, I'm not going to throw any players under the bus for what they do or do not do in preseason. I'm not going to say players are incredible world-class world beaters because of what they do in preseason. But Donny van der Beek, he's got an opportunity. He's got a manager, and I'll speak about that because Erik Ten Hag was speaking about him in his pre-match press conference. He's got a manager who knows exactly what his best position is. He's got a manager who knows and trusts him. So therefore, he's got to make sure that he takes advantage of that. Charlie, you're saying that he's a very good squad player. I think he definitely will be a squad player. Lisandro is basically buy, but with less recklessness. No, he's more than buy. He's way, way, way more than buy. And I think that's doing him a disservice to try and say that that's a comparison. Honestly, I don't think... If you don't know about Lisandro Martinez, I think you might be underestimating just how good he is with the ball at his feet and just how much of a playmaker from deep he's going to be. That's why he's been signed, first and foremost, to do just that. Robin, you're saying, I think it's a good question. And I've been holding back on this. I really have. Because I personally know that looking into it, I don't think there is really an alternative. Not on the same scale. If Frenkie de Jong obviously would be the 10 out of 10 signing, I don't think anyone else gets past like a 7 or an 8 in terms of what Ten Hag wants. And that's why I think that Manchester United keep going and going and going after him. And I keep saying this, right? And I said this on Twitter. I said, our CEO, Richard Arnold, doesn't fly out to Barcelona 2 times in 2 weeks to try and help a deal sort of nudge along. He's going there for the final conversations. And Manchester United do not keep pursuing Frenkie de Jong this aggressively and for this long without real confirmation and assurance from Erik Ten Hag, and therefore confirmation and assurance directly from Frenkie de Jong that he will join Manchester United and he will be happy at the club if the deal goes through. It's not this isn't an issue that revolves around Frenkie de Jong and his mindset. And that's my opinion. Of course, you can have a different opinion there. But it's all down to the finances. It's all down to Barcelona and the structure there and the money and the wages owed. That's the thing stopping it. I don't think it's really got anything to do with Frenkie de Jong. And you can talk about what his agent is saying to the press. But as Joan Laporta is proving, it's just a political power play. Joan Laporta, Frenkie de Jong's not for sale, whilst also being in conversations with Manchester United to sell Frenkie de Jong. His agent, I think, is playing the smart move by saying Frenkie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona because it keeps the power in their court. I told you, this is a huge tug of war going on between Barcelona and Frenkie de Jong. Ultimately, and that Manchester United having to sit there and wait and wait and wait. And it's frustrating as hell. But that's what's going on. And I think that's why his agent is maintaining the fact that he's happy at the club and doesn't want to leave. And also why Barcelona are trying to say that he's not for sale, despite the fact that he is completely for sale. Fourth hour, let me know where you're watching from, my friend. Tywin Lannister. I thought you weren't here anymore. Okay, disagreeing with him being backed. This squad sucks. Stadium sucks. Training facilities suck. You're in a good mood. Infrastructure sucks. And a couple of signings does not mean he's being backed. Well, you're completely and utterly misinterpreting the concept of Ten Hag being backed and Manchester United as a football club being backed. Stadium, it needs investment. Training facilities, they need investment. Infrastructure, that's massively improving. What's that got to do in Ten Hag? What's that got to do in Ten Hag? What's that got to do with Ten Hag? Him being given the signings that he's asked for, that's him being backed. I don't know how you're linking all of that, my friend. Tywin, you need to stick to Game of Thrones. I'm being told that Laurie Whitwell has just posted, so let me go and see what the lad has been saying. No, he hasn't. He's just retweeted. People, sometimes you just get it wrong. But look, let's move on quickly because there's a lot more talking points to run through this morning. Okay. And Cristiano Ronaldo, I thought this was an interesting one, and lots of you have been tagging me in this, so let's have a conversation about it. An offer from a Saudi Arabian club for Cristiano Ronaldo would see Manchester United receive 30 million euros. Ronaldo is waiting to receive, get this, 250 million euros over 2 seasons. That's a lot of dough. That's a lot of dough. My word. Now that I'm not. This is why I'm only bringing this up at this point, halfway through, half an hour into the show. CNN Portugal. Right, cool, okay, but it's a conversation. I don't personally think that. Look, Ronaldo, we keep hearing the only reason he wants to leave Manchester United is because of ambition. What, to then run across to Saudi Arabia? Depends what his ambition is. If his ambition is money, he's fine at Man United. He's on $500,000 a week. If his ambition is trophies, he's going nowhere near that. Unless Saudi Arabia decide to buy the Champions League as well. I don't think he's leaving there. And I'll be honest, I don't know whether he's going to leave Manchester United now. I felt pretty when the story broke, I was like, oh shit, he does want to leave. But I was pretty sure that Jorge Mendes and Ronaldo would have only done that if they had assurances from other clubs that he was going to get a move there. And now it looks like Chelsea aren't interested. He's not going Bayern Munich. PSG are distancing themselves. Real Madrid won't re-sign him. Barcelona are busy looking at Lewandowski, and he won't go there because of Real Madrid legacy. And Juventus won't re-sign him, and he's not going to get the Champions League. It's weird. It's Ronaldo's out by what looks like it. Ronaldo, through a lack of choices, is going to remain at Manchester United. And I'll be honest, I do think that poses a problem, and I have to cover that in a video. I'm not going to do it just yet, but I will. I don't think Ronaldo will leave United. He's part of Ten Hag's plans. Of course, he's part of the plans. He's there. And if we're being honest, right, and we look at Ronaldo, and we say, if Ronaldo played for Man City last year, we all know that he probably would have scored like 25, 30 league goals. Would have just been able to goal hang, would have been able to just stay in the box and just score goals. He'd be the greatest goal hanger in the world. Who's to say that he couldn't do that at Manchester United this year? Erik Ten Hag showed with Sebastian Haller that he can play with more of a target man than a pure mobile forward. But as we saw against Liverpool, how impressive it can be when you've got 3 forwards who are doing that. There's no doubt that Ronaldo staying at Manchester United is not part of the long-term plan or structure of the club. It's one more season if he stays. Therefore, there's going to have to be a tactical tweak to bend around Ronaldo. Now, it strikes me that Ten Hag will make that bend less than others, than Rangnick did, than Solskjaer did. But nevertheless, we'll have to bend it. But then if you get improved service into the box, Ronaldo could be banging in goals left, right, and centre. There's no doubt that he's an incredible goal scorer. But I'm going to cover that in a separate video because I'll be honest, I think you have to. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to wait for this story to develop a little bit more. Now, of course, Erik Ten Hag, Manchester United, they're playing tomorrow. Why is this guy Tywin Lannister? Tywin Lannister causing so many problems. Can someone go and get Tyrion and a crossbow? Get him involved in the comments. But look, Manchester United, of course, playing tomorrow. Erik Ten Hag, he's been speaking ahead of the game. What I'm going to do is run through some of Erik Ten Hag's quotes. In fact, every single one of his quotes in the press conference. So make sure you drop a like on the video. But let's run through this press conference together. Cliddy saying, which preseason game will we be watching live, Sam? Oh, my friend, you must be new around here because I won't be doing any watch-alongs ever on United People's TV. And I keep saying that. So many people want to do it, but it's just not me. It's not me. I don't want to do it. United View, they do it. United Stand, they do it. Flying Pig, they do it. Stretford Paddock, they do it. Everybody does it. There's like 4 watch-alongs you can go and watch. I'm not going to go and make it 5. I never will. Arafat, what are you saying? Can there be an ego clash between Ronaldo and... No, I don't think that's an issue at all. And you're saying, but you're not the only one down here. That dressing room's already full of egos, with or without Ronaldo. And I don't think that's going to be an issue. And Ten Hag will be able to manage that. But yeah, I think if Ronaldo had options, he probably would be leaving. That's why I think so anyway. Matthew, you're probably right there. Look, I'm not going to put a banner on it, but so many people just... I suppose it goes to show the popularity of watch-alongs. And that's the reason that United Stand has become the size it is. Because they do watch-alongs. Because it creates something for a huge amount of United fans that don't have that community when they watch games. So it's a brilliant place for them. I understand that. It's just I'll never do it. I'm never going to do it. All right? Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about Erik Ten Hag and what he said ahead of the game against Melbourne tomorrow. A couple of the quotes are boring. Well, as you'd expect. But a couple of quotes, they create some interesting conversations. How seriously are you taking these games? It's pre-season, but in football you play to win. We're going to have a full squad. That's going to be good. What can you take from this game against Melbourne Victory? Happy with the game, blah, 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 blah. What can you update us on Harry Maguire? Yes, tomorrow he is available, but I think he can play half a game. So we're probably going to see the start of Harry Maguire in this system, and I'm really interested to watch that. I've told you that we saw it against Liverpool. We saw how high that defensive line was. Our 2 centre-backs were... I mean, they were like 10, 15 feet away from the halfway line. That was their average position, probably. I I don't know if Maguire can play in that system. I really, really don't. Prove me wrong, Harry. I think we'll probably see a first example of that against Melbourne Victory. We saw some of what you've been working on at the training ground, wondering what kind of tactics you're going to deploy this season, and this is nice. From every area of the team, I want productivity. That's the most important thing. That players take the initiative on and off the ball, offense and defense. Absolutely. That's what we saw against Liverpool. It's great. And I want more of it. I don't want it to be a one-off. I want it to be in every single game. United in and out of possession. That's what I want to see. And I keep seeing. I don't know why people can't understand this. It's a question. Oh no. It's a question of integrity, right? That's what I'll say it now. Clearly, I'm not explaining this enough. It's a question of integrity and the sort of content that I want to do. I'm not going to go for the low-hanging fruit of doing a watch-along because I think it puts into question your integrity in terms of what I'm doing and how I'm presenting myself. I might be missing out on an audience, but I don't care. That's not the audience I want on United People's TV. That's probably why the comment section on United People's TV is so much different than anywhere else because of the people that come in and tune in and what they want to do. And it's never going to happen. So that's the main reason I do it. I want to be able to go to away games, go to European trips with my mates from United, and be proud of all the content that I've done. And doing watch-alongs, you can't do that. Goldbridge can't walk into an away end. I want to be able to. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, all right? I don't know why people, it's odd. That's funny. Where's that comment? Love the picture of Ben Kingsley in the background. Nice that. Do you remember Sexy Beast? What a film that was with Ray Winston. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go down here and let's see a little bit more. Jurgen Klopp said his team struggled against your man marking system. Can you tell us about that? He said, look, I'm not sure we were playing a man marking system at a certain moment we play man marking, but again, he keeps reiterating this. He said, we want to press all day and play proactive football. Sometimes we can do that high, but if not possible, we have to read it as a team and drop lower. Now, I thought that was a good point there because it's not always about, you can press aggressively at the front if you want to. And if you can, and you can maintain that energy, then Jesus, it's the best thing to do because you win the ball high up the pitch. But sometimes you press in the middle. Sometimes you press towards the edge of your own box. Sometimes you drop that press a little bit deeper depending on circumstances, right? That's what he's saying that Manchester United will do there. It's not always about pressing from the front, but it's always about pressing. No matter where you're doing it as a team and you're doing it together. Lots and lots of you commenting about watch along. Oh, Jesus, I don't get why people want to talk about it so much. Honestly, and the main thing I don't understand about watch alongs is why the fuck do you want to watch someone else watching the game? Why don't you just watch the game? It's odd. It's really weird. Honestly, I've never understood the concept. But obviously, there's a market for it. It really is. But let's go down here. Any more comments? Zidane, Iqbal impressed. No, he did really, really impress. All the youngsters impressed. Charlie Savage. Ahmad was probably, I would say, the weakest of them. Pellistri got a goal. Who else is playing there? Elanga. Well, he's not really a youth player anymore, is he? Pellistri, Ahmad. Can't remember the other ones. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, this lad. I want to see him play against Melbourne Victory. There's a few players that didn't get the opportunity against Liverpool. And I want to see James Garner. I want to see Hannibal. I want to see Ethan Laird. Definitely those three I want to see get an opportunity in this game against Melbourne. I think we will. I absolutely think they will. And I think with Jimmy Garner, right? I'm not really sure why he didn't play against Liverpool, considering it was Zidane, Iqbal and Charlie Savage in there, but maybe he was just being held. I don't know. But James Garner, I think, will get a chance here. Garnacho. There we go. I knew I was forgetting one. Garnacho looks absolutely hyper-focused on getting opportunities this season. I'll tell you, I've said this before, and I've done a video on it, and maybe I'll do it again. I think there's a perfect storm at Manchester United right now. The timing of Erik Ten Hag coming into the club and the timing of these youngsters coming through. Because there are some really clearly top-level youngsters. I think Zidane Iqbal has showed that. Okay, wow, yeah, he's a ball player. He is a ball player. He's probably better than maybe I think we thought he was at this point. But he's ready to come through. Alejandro Garnacho showed last year that he's ready to come through. James Garner, not really a youth player. He's got lots of experience under his belt. But Hannibal, he's ready to come through. Alvaro Fernandez will probably go out on loan, but he's ready. There are a lot of players that are that need to break through. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. Ethan Laird, I'm not going to say Ethan Laird's going to do it, but I think Ethan Laird's going to try. We're going to watch Ethan Laird and go, he's going to probably remind you of what Tyrell Malacia was doing on the left-hand side. That sort of tenacious, really energetic performance. And because of the competition that's everywhere, it's good, man. It's good. I'm looking forward to seeing Ethan Laird play there. That was the end of the quotes there from Erik Ten Hag. But as I say, I'm really glad I covered that last night with the Martinez, because there's so much more to talk about this morning. Rashford, he was sitting next to Erik Ten Hag. And if we're being completely honest, Rashford, if we're looking at the front three against Liverpool, Rashford was probably the most disappointing. I thought Sancho and Martial both excelled. Rashford still looked like he lacked. I mean, the fitness was there, absolutely. The desire was there, but the ability wasn't there. There was a disconnect. Whether that's confidence creating that disconnect, we don't know yet. But this is what Rashford said ahead of the game. There are really a couple of super chats out here before I read along. Should do a watch along of people doing a watch along, watching a watch along section. Yeah, you did get carried away. I can't believe I read the whole thing out. It's the worst super chat you've ever sent in, Warren. Everything Man United. Do you think that Liverpool's Darwin Núñez will be a flop? No, I don't think he will. I think Darwin Núñez might take a bit of time to settle in. Probably the price tag that's going to weigh down on his shoulders. Liverpool have not missed for a while in the transfer window. And to think that they're probably going to do that on a 100 million signing, I don't think they will. I hope to God they do, but I don't think he will. Lots of you are mentioning Anthony in the comments. I've spoken about Anthony a while ago, and I said, honestly, gut's telling me that we're not going to be signing Anthony. Gut's telling me that we're not going to get Martinez and Anthony. And my gut is telling me that we'll probably get Martinez over Anthony. All of those have been proven correct so far. And I don't think that we'll be getting Anthony. And Ajax won't. If Ajax didn't need to sell before they sold Martinez, then they're just categorically not going to be selling Anthony. Move on from him. Look elsewhere. Gary, really looking forward to seeing the youngsters this year. You're not wrong there, Gary. I'm looking forward to it as well. Wuri, you're saying it's time to sign a striker. Let's find out. I think, well, we need an attacker. Whether it's a right winger in Anthony, whether it's a striker, somebody, we need an attacker. And after, when we get this Martinez deal done, boom, in the bag. Get Eriksen announced. I want both of those by the weekend. Come on, United. Serve me up. The little double announcement. That would be nice. Then we move on to De Jong, and all the focus is on De Jong and getting that done. But maybe, again, we're just going to have to wait and wait and wait. I think the De Jong situation is going to keep dragging out. I still think it's going to end with him joining United. But we are being made to wait for our food. Jeez, we've sat at a table for like 2 hours now. What the fuck's the service? That's what it is. We've got the money. We know food's there. Wait, it won't bring it to the table. And then an attacker. And the attacker's probably going to be the last signing of the window. Well, either that or De Jong. But we definitely need one. Sigmund. Bellingham next year is going to be the story of the summer next season. Make no mistake about that. And everybody's going to want him. But look, going down to Rashford, as I said, Rashford had a bit of a mixed bag. I would say he was pretty poor against Liverpool. He'll no doubt get more opportunities. This is what he said about his pre-season preparations so far. He said, it's been a bit unnatural for me to have such a long break in the summer, just under 4 weeks, and I could have a break physically and mentally. And we all know that he needed that. It's massive to have a full pre-season. This is the first year I've been with the team from the beginning. I already feel a lot better. I think the first 2.5 weeks of training have been good. We're a lot fitter than we were last season. And also we're making mistakes along the way. So we have a lot of room for improvement. What do you think is going to happen with Marcus this year? What's your gut telling you? Are we going to see Marcus back to his sort of like 2019-20 best? Are we going to see Marcus getting up there between 15 and 20 goals a season? Or are we going to see Marcus Rashford sort of stand on the sidelines and watch Jadon Sancho thrive and watch Anthony Martial thrive, or Alejandro Garnacho is going to take his spot instead? What's your gut telling you on Marcus Rashford? Let me know in the comments. Lawrence, do we expect a here we go soon for Eriksen? We've already got the here we go for Eriksen. That's why I've said to people, chill your beans. We've already got the here we go. That was last week. Covered in full here on United People's TV. We're just waiting for the announcement. And that's all revolved around the medical. And it's no surprise that the medical's taken a bit longer. It's a bit more stringent because we know about the issues with his heart condition. And is it a pacemaker? I think it's effectively a pacemaker that he's got. Man United are taking their time. It will happen. Gamer Beans, you're saying, look, Rashford's going to be scoring 20 goals. Michael, you're going down here saying he will shine, playing with a smile on his face, 15 to 20 goals. Jamie, you think he's going to be good. Jonathan, you're saying, look, Bellingham, Rice, and Nkunku, all big buys next summer. And Nkunku is a big one, really big one. I think his release clause is 60 million euros. I think it is. Might be wrong in that, but I think he just signed a good contract to keep him at the club. I think so anyway. I can't remember. Jake, you're saying Rashford will find his feet and be decent this season, but Sancho will outshine him. I probably agree on that. I think Sancho's going to be... I can't wait to watch Jadon Sancho this year. I am moist. Probably shouldn't have said moist. But Jadon Sancho looks like... it didn't look like... Jadon Sancho is a baller. Always has been. We didn't see the full Jadon Sancho last year. We saw moments of him from February. He had that form for like 6 games where he was like exploded. Looked fantastic. I think we're going to get that sort of Jadon Sancho from day one this season. Rashford will be back. Maybe not to his best just yet. And I personally think, I agree with the majority of the comments down here. I think Marcus Rashford, you know what Marcus Rashford hasn't had? You know what every single one of these players hasn't had? And it might come as no surprise that a lot of these players haven't massively improved. We're going to have a top-level coach and a real clarity, a pure, like, Rashford, this is your job. This is your role. This is your position. You're doing this. And this is the system we're building towards. And every player will benefit from that. The lack of direction has sort of made it hard for progress to happen. But I expect Marcus Rashford to play with a big smile on his face this year and to get back amongst the goals. And I think if he doesn't, there is a strong chance that Marcus Rashford will be sold next year. And I think he knows that. Estevan, I see. They haven't seen it in a while. Playing with the same team that finished second 2 seasons ago, training under a proper coach, really excites me for the season, even without transfers coming. I think you should... I think we saw in the Liverpool game, we clearly, and I've maintained it as well, I think Ten Hag will get more out of these players than other coaches have. The squad will be better without new signings, but there's only so far that good coaching can take this squad. That's where you need the new signings to come in, to raise that ceiling, to raise the bar of what the squad can do. That's impossible without new signings. So I think if we didn't make any new signings and we had Ten Hag coaching, I think we'd be looking at the top 4 this year. We probably wouldn't have enough to get into it, but we'd be solid again. Really consistent team. But adding new signings into that, the future's bright, man. The future really is bright. And I'm so optimistic about the future at United now. After years and years and years of just being a bit of a joke, a real joke, I don't think we'll now go to play newly promoted. Who got promoted last year? Fulham? I think Fulham won up. We're not going to go to newly promoted Fulham and get pumped 4-0. We're going to go with a real air of consistency in our games now, a real consistency in the performance. No matter who the 11 is, I think United will play similar week in, week out. And the work ethic won't just drop off the face of a cliff between games and you're left there going, what the hell just happened? Jekyll and Hyde. Last few years, you've had no idea what United's going to turn up. No idea whatsoever. I don't think that will happen this year. There's a couple of quotes here, and this is a really good one, I think. Tyrone Malacia here. There's a couple of things. There's one thing he said, and there's a quote from an article that the Times did an interview with him. He said, look, it's a big difference from the Eredivisie, but I've wanted this all my life. I've worked hard for it. So I have to work harder now. And I'll be honest, that's music to my ears, because for so many years, I think Alexis Sanchez is a prime example. Maybe not the best example, but an example of a player who came to Manchester United and just went, you know what? Completed it, mate. As soon as he arrived, completed it, mate. Took his foot off the gas, didn't give a shit. Tyrone Malacia has got that mentality of like, instead of going, Mum, I've made it. He goes, right, I've made it. And now I'm back on step one of this new ladder, which is far, far bigger than that ladder was that I've just got off. And that's the mentality that he's going to be driving into this team. And honestly, it's going to be a firecracker. An absolute firecracker for the whole squad. Because Ten Hag will always be able to point towards Tyrell and go, well, what's your excuse? Why are you not putting 100% in? All right, go on then. You're out of the team then. Tyrell, in you come. Or anybody else. He'll set a new tone. He'll absolutely set a new tone. And this, in this particular, was a nice little bit here from Paul Hurst. Tyrell Malacia, Manchester United's low-maintenance pitbull who picks reading crime thrillers over watching football. And you'll notice there's another player that we've just signed from the Eredivisie who's also known as a pitbull. And that is Lisandro Martinez. And it's almost, I'll tell you what, think about it. It's almost like Erik Ten Hag has realised that Manchester United were mentally frail in games and needed to bring players of the certain profile into the club that would change that with a different attitude. I'm just saying it's worth thinking about. It's worth thinking about. But yeah, but this quote, this couple of quotes down here, these made me. They're minor things, but I like it. Until a fortnight ago, Malacia did not have a Twitter account. He's about as low maintenance as footballers come. During his time in Rotterdam, the city of his birth, he liked to keep a low profile, hanging out with his friends or visiting his grandma. And he is not one for computer games, nor is he a football obsessive. He does not watch much football at home and likes to spend some of his spare time reading crime thrillers. I just like the sound of this kid. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm looking for positives too hard here, but this is just an interview that was in the Times. And of course, it's going to be good propaganda. But I like how he speaks. I like how he carries himself. And I liked what I saw against Liverpool. And I just think that attitude and the profile of that signing is what we need. Is really what we need. And I'm looking forward to having that at the club and seeing what difference it makes. Lawrence, you're saying, I see Rashford, Martial and Sancho building a formidable partnership. Do you think we'll get Anthony? No, Anthony. Everybody, park the conversation. I think you're wasting your time mentioning Anthony, all right? Ian, what's wrong with computer games? Absolutely nothing wrong with computer games. But I don't know, I like the fact that the idea that he's just like this, I don't know. He's just a bit different. He just approaches it a bit different. I like it. And John, you're saying, look, it's a sorely needed mentality shift. And it's kind of making me sound like boring old bloke, isn't it? When I go, oh yeah. I like someone who reads crime thrillers. I like that. No, Dembele signed a new contract with Barcelona. What an idiot. You're not going to get paid for that contract, my friend. What's that comment there? There was a comment there about he's got so many exclamation marks. You got to be. He's not a pitbull. He's a dogo argentino. He should be more. I don't know what that is. A dogo argentino. Should be more scared of that breed. What's the breed I like? Is it Weimaraner? I haven't got a dog. I'm only in a flat. Couldn't get a dog in here. But look, it's we've dealt with a lot of frustration the last few years as United fans. We've gone up and downs, and there's been a lot of false dawns, and we're like, oh, we're back. No, never mind, we're still shit. This is we're on the up. We're on the escalator, and it's just slowly creeping upwards and upwards. Who knows how high it will get? But we're going to get Lisandro Martinez. It's going to be announced today, and I am going to be bringing you the Here We Go video when it's live. So make sure you join. Make sure you subscribe to United People's TV so you don't miss out on that video. I'm going to bring you the scouting report that's going to be out probably within the hour. All right, here on United People's TV, looking at his positions, both as a centre-back and a central defensive midfielder, the strengths of his game, and where he's going to fit in this Erik Ten Hag system. I'll bring you that. And then, well, sod it. It's a good time to be a United fan. And I hope that you're enjoying the content here on United People's TV, and I hope you'll stick around. So thank you very much for joining in the morning show. I'll be here later today when we get the Here We Go. Make sure you check out the scout report, and then we're here tomorrow morning at 9:30, and then the game at 11. All systems go. Ten Hag era. It's underway, isn't it? Take it easy, everyone.